What's up, my friends? Welcome back to the Dream Ignite Build podcast, where we empower you to dream bigger, ignite your purpose, and build a life and business that truly matters. I am your host, Genesis Hay-Crick, and today's conversation is one that you do not want to miss. I'm sitting down with Shannon Clough, wife, mom of 6, entrepreneur, and founder of Beyond the Jersey, which is a mentorship and social media strategy platform helping high school and college athletes build confidence, character, and real opportunity beyond their sport. After building a team of over 14,000 in network marketing and rising to Blue Diamond with doTERRA, Shannon stepped into her family's roofing business and saw a major gap in the recruiting world. Talented athletes with skill, but without guidance on identity, strategy, and visibility. That's when Beyond the Jersey was born. Rooted in faith, resilience, and legacy, Shannon is on a mission to help young athletes win in the game of life, not just in their sport. This episode is powerful, practical, and deeply inspiring, and you are going to love it. Shannon, thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you for having me.
So grateful to have you. So there's so many things that we could talk about, from motherhood to business building to being a wife and doing all of the things, navigating life in general, and just really truly making impact in the community. And you are doing all of that. I want to start by talking about what you've done on the home front and how you've just accomplished so much being a mom of 6 and raising your kids and homeschooling, and would love for you to talk about that, because we have a lot of entrepreneurs listening in the audience, and they're trying to navigate that world.
Yeah.
So I would love to hear your perspective and share a little bit more about behind the scenes and just maybe things that we can give ourselves permission to do, or things that we could potentially be thinking about.
Yeah. So mom of 6, my oldest is 18. And then we have a 17, 16-year-old, 2 middle school, and then what we call our cherry on top, the first grader. So it's been really wild and really fun. And last year we added an additional to our family in April. He was on the football team at a local high school here, and he just needed some extra mentorship and love and care. And my older boys brought him home. So he ended up staying with us all summer. Long story short, we met with his mom. She signed over a power of attorney, and now he's basically one of ours. He held me accountable in the level of hey, it says you have 5 kids on Instagram. Can you make it 6? And it's been a really big journey just watching what it could when you really pour into your kids. So we homeschooled for 11 years. They all went into school because the Lord really put on my heart. That season was up for us of homeschooling, which was so scary to me because it feels like you have such a great control on your kids when really we don't have the control we think we have. And so I ended up putting them in school, and it has been really cool watching how we've been utilized in the schools and what that has done for our family. Because putting them in, looking back at that day, I cried for a good 2 hours because my identity was a little bit wrapped in that homeschool world, which I loved. And I was so thankful for that season. But they always played at the public school level for sports.
That is very cool.
It's been an adventure, but organization, time management. And then when I was building my network marketing company, they were younger. So we didn't have the nights of sports. So I was able to go at night. My husband would take over. So it's just making it work. And I love that my kids have seen us go get things that were harder. Mom's going to go fulfill her dreams, but yet she's still making us a priority. And I think through our friendship, you've seen me.
Yeah.
I'll text you, don't give up on me. I promise it's coming. We have a game or 5th game of the week or...
Always prioritizing what's most important. Yeah. And I love that. And the kids will always remember that. They'll always remember the time that you committed and you were specifically dedicated to whatever that was, that quality of time or that sport or that activity. You've always been there. I know, I've watched on social, based on the conversations that we've had, you've done so many amazing things for your kids.
Thanks.
And it's just, I think today more than ever before, we're all trying to figure out what is right for our personal family, what is right, and how do we navigate this season? And every season shifts and changes so quickly. So it's just kind of wrapping your head around what makes the most sense. But the thing that I love now is I guess it's just recognized as being an open opportunity for us to revamp life, just in general, whether you want to homeschool, whether you want to send them to school, whether you're doing private or hybrid or whatever that looks like. And I think just knowing that it doesn't have to be forever, that it can be for a season of life. You can try something out and say, you know what, I'm grateful for that time.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that period so that now that we've experienced it, now we can move on and we can try this.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about, like homeschooling and then putting them in public school.
Yeah. And going all in when you do it.
Yeah.
Like you go all in on homeschooling. I knew that was the season. And now I'm on the foundation of the local schools, some of them, and just really pouring into them and knowing that being adaptable to change.
Yeah.
Because life is full of that. And as long as your kids are talking to you, which I feel like that homeschool foundation gave us the open conversation, especially now raising teens. Sometimes they share more than I ever want to know. And I'm like, oh gosh, I didn't hear that. I didn't want to know about all that. But I love that we have that relationship that they're like, my mom isn't going to judge me. She's going to give me the grace through the hard. And I hope they know that, like, no matter how hard it gets, we're going to talk through those things. Even if it's uncomfortable or even if it's not what you thought the answer should have been, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And as things have evolved and you've come to Florida and been kind of navigating your way into the community, you were really supportive, obviously, of your husband and the things that you've been building together with cloth roofing. If you can talk a little bit about that and just, share with the audience what that experience has been like and also just like where everything is going from here.
Yeah.
Where would you,
so network marketing kind of starting back then, the saying is always get your husband home, get him home from work so you guys can live together, dream free, might financially. So we tried that and we decided we weren't meant to work together. I'm too bossy. So I've said, you go keep your roofing business. I'm going to keep building my business. And we are a good team. We were good apart. So we moved to Florida 5 years ago.
Yeah.
My networking business is still there, but I'm just not actively growing it. I did it for about 10 years. Loved it. I loved helping the people in it. But then I focused on the kids. He's been doing the roofing world for 24 years. So last year we rebranded and he was like, will you come alongside and help me? So, learning to work with your spouse also has its fun perks and challenges. So we've just learned to kind of stay in our lane. So I was doing all the marketing, community give back, all the things a business owner of a roofing company doesn't have time for. And so for me, it was so fun, except we started sponsoring athletes through the roofing company. Because for me, I want to leave a legacy. I want to make a difference. And the difference is finding local roofers that aren't going to screw people. My heart has seen that. People come in after storms, especially in Florida, and they're scared of contractors, as they should be due to the horror stories. So for me, I kind of was like, I can serve families at this level.
Yeah.
But then I saw all these athletes and we were able to sponsor them through that. And what's been really great is just watching that community give back that I was able to pull into the company. Well, then my oldest, I've been working through football. He made varsity his freshman year. And I'm like, oh, he has a talent here. I didn't want to be like that American Idol mom that didn't know. When you go to try to sing out and you're like, dang it, I really wish your mom would have told you. Like, it's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, does my kid have some talent here? And they were like, yeah, you should really look into it. So over the last 4 years, I really dove into helping them, especially homeschooling the first 2 years of high school. I didn't want him to go play college sport. And then I was the reason I homeschooled. I failed him. So I really dug into the NCAA, figuring out all the laws that go into homeschooling and recruiting. And by his senior year, we had 15 offers just from going back and forth of me showing him what networking and all of that looks like. And I think through the marketing with my essential oil business, marketing through Clough Roofing, taught a lot of high school kids. I decked the whole football team out in our roofing shirts and would give them different tips and tricks on how to do it. But I think my biggest heart was watching these athletes or students. They're getting so lost in this world, really, and finding out what their purpose is and what their identity is and what they're called to do. So I've just loved mentoring kids throughout over the years. And it's not only about the offers or marketing on Twitter, but it's their identity outside that sport, which has been just really fun. And being involved in the high school, I've seen ACL injuries and kids are losing their minds and not sure how to handle that and how I can just pour into them. So I ended up developing Beyond the Jersey through Clough Roofing. So I wanted to be able to give back at a greater level than just a roofing company, which we have our ways of giving back there. But this just feels more legacy minded. And that was my biggest heart.
Yeah. What a great legacy to be able to leave behind too. And that's, for generations, that's what you're doing. You're speaking to the younger generation and it's going to also impact their children and their children's children. And kind of reframing and revamping the way that people think about life in general.
Yeah.
Because their identity, as you've probably experienced, I've experienced, especially when you're sports minded or any kind of background where you're just like wrapped up in it, that becomes all consuming and it becomes all you focus on. And if it doesn't pan out exactly as you think it's going to, then you can end up in a really depressive place.
You can. Because
And
you're
so-
one injury away from
Yep.
not knowing if you ever can play that sport again. And so you're
Yeah.
wrapped up in it, leaning towards it. You have goals, and really 1% go pro. And
Yeah.
I think it's great for these kids to have those goals, but we come alongside the athlete and the parents to teach them how. And at the end of the day, if they end up not getting a full ride, but I taught them how to network, market, work really hard with consistency, dedication, and just having someone behind you believing at you. And a lot of athletes have amazing parents that are there believing in them. But not every athlete loves to listen to their mom and dad when they're like,
Yeah.
drink water, stretch this much. What's your diet look like? It's always nice having that outside accountability or somebody else rooting for you, holding you to a different accountability, which is
Yeah.
been fun. So we're only not even a month in. We've been developing Beyond the Jersey for quite a few, and the connections have already been really amazing. And I'm really excited and nervous, but the next generation needs us more than ever now, I feel like. And it's something we're not taking serious in mentoring them.
Yeah. And I've never heard of it before. I've never heard of a service or anyone out there advocating in the way that you are. It's all like pro, like, making them go towards the pro, in which you, of course, you are. But the reality of it is, like you said, it's only that 1%. So what happens to all these other people that are the 99%? Where do they go? What do they do? And giving them that pathway of possibility, and also teaching them the skill sets and giving them a foundation of, you know what, there's going to be a lot of other doors that open for you because you did all this other work on the home front. It's going to make such a long difference down the road for everything else.
Well, I created our slogan, Beyond the Jersey, character lasts longer than stats. So at the end of the day, that's really what it is. Like, your character is going to carry with you till you die.
Yeah.
And your stats are a minimal thing. I don't know if you have like older parents but my dad will still bring up back in high school. I do ever, like, they live in that a little bit, but really, who are they today and how are they pouring back? Like, their character is going to go a long way. So if we can teach them those little tips and tricks now of eye contact, shaking hands, communicating well, networking, advocating for yourself. A lot of these kids don't even know that they can do that. Like, for playtime, teaching them how to get more playtime instead of running home, having mom and dad call the coaches. That just frustrates the coaches. Where if we can launch them into, hey, what do you want to do? How do you get there? Ask the coach after practice. Tell me what I'm doing and doing right or wrong. Show me. A lot of kids don't even think they can talk to their coaches that way. So just teaching them little tools to be not only successful on the field, but successful in life. Because when we're 25, we're going to have to advocate for ourselves. At 20, go to college. Like, there's a lot of things that kids don't know, and they get thrown into the world having to know what they need to do with their lives by 18, which unfortunately, I hate that at 18, they need to have a plan.
Yeah.
But if we can help take that plan into something purposeful and have the different connections with businesses and colleges and coaches, I just feel like we're setting up a generation that can actually move forward, making their dreams come true.
Yeah. And let's face it, they're not getting those skill sets in school. They're just not. It's not being offered. They're not being educated. And then they're ready to go to college and they're like, now what? Like, how do I do this thing? And so having that foundation is just like prepping them and getting them ready for real life in general. And the world is different today. It's like totally different. And they're trying to figure out how to navigate themselves in the online space and how they're differentiating themselves, like when they can stand up and interact in person. Because you know what? Like, the way that people interact nowadays, especially the younger generation, it's so different than like when, we were growing up. We didn't have our eyes glued to the screen, and we weren't like knee deep in social media 24/7. And not that we hope that it's not like that for them, but for a lot of them, it's just a really big part of their daily lifestyle. So just helping them to break a part of that, that is so amazing. And I think that that's going to also just set the tone for how they can set better goals too.
It's true. Well, and comparison is the thief of joy. And a lot of these kids do that. And a lot of athletes, that kid got a D1 offer, that kid got D2, or how does that, the D1 offer they may have got, but let's set apart. Did they touch the ball the first 2 years? Like, we're able to walk through, is that really where you want to end up? Does that coach really believe in you? You're going to play. And the kids want the big title, when really it comes down to, where's your heart at? If you play at a lower level school, are you going to get more play time? Are you going to be able to make an impact on that team? Because at a larger school, sometimes you're just a number. And so it's being able to really depict, because when your parents have that goal for you, you feel the pressure to say yes sometimes for what they want for you. But if we're able to create a clear pros and cons list of where their hearts are at, it really, that's another option as well. So it's been really fun. I don't know. I'm really excited to see where it goes. It's scary at the same time, because you're just like, all right, God, I'm trusting you in this, but giving back to these kids, it's going to be amazing. I like the first time I get a kid that just graduates
Yeah.
and goes to school or goes to be an adult and do what we're doing to make an impact. It will just be so rewarding. There's nothing better.
Just so many great tools and resources, and
Yeah.
such a great foundation that you're providing for them. I love all of that. And really, I think what it's giving them is just that strong sense of hope, like that no matter what happens, like there's always going to be a pathway for me,
Yeah.
that I can still be a success. I can still do what I want in life, and I can still be joyful. I can still be happy. I don't have to rely on this specific identity to make me happy, or to help me to feel worthy, or to just like, go through these next seasons of life to feel like that's the end all be all, because we know that it's not.
No.
We know that there's so much more to life as we're going through it and we're navigating, but it's hard to see as a young adult.
It is. Well, and also I've learned through parenting my own kids and others is a lot of faith-based people have a hard time loving their kids through their mess. And that's not trying to sound judgmental at all, but our kids are going to fail us. They're going to make mistakes that aren't what we're like rooted in or what we believe in. And it's how do we love them right where they're at? Because that love can really conquer everything. And so for me, it's kids are going to make bad choices. So if I know that they can call me or call somebody else or something, I wish I had somebody to talk to as a teen. My parents were great, but I think our generation, we didn't share or overshare. And some parents don't have time to hear it. But if they're able to call and be like, I made this bad choice last weekend. Can you please help me? It's not who I am. Because some people wrap that identity in their bad choice, and it's how we can help them overcome it. So loving them through their mess is just so important. So I feel like we all need it. I need love through my mess as sometimes.
Well, I'm on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to partner with you whatever way I can, get this out to the masses. I think this can help so many people in so many ways. I mean, it's just like, it's the big picture of like, just like you said, life in general, like, where they are going in life, and creating something that is so worth fighting for, that it's not just us playing a sport or winning a trophy, but it's about who we become, in that process, which I think is so powerful. And that's, you're leading them through that entire process. And then also the reciprocation of how, once they go through that, what they're able to pour back into and how they can lead by example.
Yeah.
So really it is not only for themselves, but it's leadership development and setting the tone for anyone else that's watching them do what they do.
That's so true. And how to overcome hard.
Yeah.
So many kids, it gets hard and they want to quit or give up. But sometimes you just need that little person there to be like, you can do hard things.
Yeah. Well, very cool. What else would you like to leave the audience with today? Is there anything that's on your heart that you'd like to share, or something that maybe a word of encouragement for someone that's like interested in getting involved with your foundation? And
I would say if you have an athlete from middle school to college and you don't have the time to navigate all the intricate details from the training that goes on outside of the sport and or managing their social media. So we focus mostly on Twitter because that's how a lot of colleges look. We would love to just come alongside them to help fill the gaps on where us as parents, and it doesn't mean you're a bad parent and it doesn't mean any of that. Sometimes it's just hard. If I had somebody managing my son's social media over the last 4 years, it would have saved me a lot of time. But I also love the fact that seeing the fruit of it. And we all need different mentors. My kids, we've had amazing people come along the way. My dad being one of them, he's really poured into them in the gym. But we all need different people that we're like, God, I'm so glad you brought that person in my life, because this kid, that person changed me for the better. There's always somebody in a staple that you probably remember as a kid that shifted a direction for you that you never saw coming.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. That one person can change everything for you, completely shift your pathway, change the trajectory, and just open up your mind to what's possible.
Well, and it's even in our adult lives. One person can change everything for the good or the bad.
Yeah.
And I think it's just so cool to teach kids that. Like, it takes one. It's all about one to believe in you, and you're really, anything can be possible.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Shannon,
Thank
for
you
being
for
on
having
today.
me. Thank
So
you.
yes, and a word of encouragement to all of you. Yes, it only takes one. So you can be the light in someone's life. All it does, all you need to do is to take action and be willing to make a difference. So you can follow Shannon. We're going to put all of her socials down below and learn more about her amazing foundation, Beyond the Jersey. And we thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for tuning in to Dreaming Night Build. We encourage you to subscribe, and we'll see you next week.